Oh, crikey, Australia, it's hard to get back to this time of year.
Yeah.
Hello again. I'm here with my friend John.
Hello.
And we're here to do one which we're not going to do much of, or I'm not going to do many more videos for, because there's tons online, there's no point. It's the new 40k rulebook, which is 7th edition, let's face it. One thing I think we're both agreed on, it's a daft price for what it is.
Well, yes. It is a bit silly, I must admit.
You get 3 books, we've only got the one, but you get 3. You get one which is basically just full of pictures, going through them. They look nice, but...
Got the internet for that.
Yeah. I mean, my argument was, and I think Beastwall put it same way, if you're a new player they look nice and advertising and stuff, but you've got the internet for that, so it's not really worth it. The other book was Background, which isn't as good as the last edition, but because it details way too heavily the Imperium, which there's a lot of them, but a little bit more of some other races perhaps won't go amiss. It's a lot smaller though. That being said, it's 50 quid normally, but you'll probably be able to get it for less. They should have really got it separately, and
It will give you the option, if nothing else.
I mean, from marketing and everything like that, or whatever business strategy you've got, it's not really a good idea at all. Some people would have bought all 3. I wouldn't have done if I had the option. It really has no need. They've also done, which you probably don't know about, the big collection where it's got the main rules and the 6th edition codexes.
Oh yes, I have seen this on the website. You get 9 codexes and the rules in pocket size. About 200 quid.
Yeah, and you can only buy that from the Games Workshop website, unfortunately.
That's alright then.
The big problem with this is, yes, you've got them all together and it'll save you, I don't know, 20-30 quid, but it doesn't come with any that are going to come after this, like the Orcs. It's not going to have that. It's not going to have anything else like, say, Blood Angels, Space Wolves, anything that's coming out later in hardback.
Yeah, but do you want all the codexes?
1 or 2 people might do, but most people, no. No. I mean, I've got a fair few, but only because I can. I mean, like I said, not everyone's going to want all of it. But anyway, the rule book, yeah, one other moaning tangent is it's bland to look at from the covers. People say it's superb quality. It's a nice picture, but it's bland.
It's beige given substance.
Yeah. Worst thing about it is it's got a picture on the front. I'll put this up, which is a Dark Eldar homunculi, and it's giving you a little bit of background thing. The rules contains all the rules. Before, if you go look at the previous editions, they had battle scenes or something similar in them. This just... The picture's nice, but it just seems too half-arsed.
So what, your playing cards then, Ian?
Well, these are actually the tactical objectives, which aren't a bad idea, but unless I knew what they were for, I'll just give you a close-up picture of them. It's suffering from the same problem. It just looks bland. The picture looks nice, but it doesn't draw me in. If I didn't know what they were for.
Are they necessary to play the game?
No, but if you want to do one of the new big mission types, they can be quite useful. In fact, if you play the new one where the objectives keep changing, they will be quite useful. But in normal games, people mostly play. You're probably not going to need them. In fact, I've not seen anyone who's really been bothered about playing the big games.
Is it just another thing you have to remember in a game that's already crammed with lots of things that you have to remember?
If you didn't, I don't know really. I mean, in one case yes, but I think the other argument is that if you're playing this sort, you'd definitely want that special sort of mission. You'd definitely want the cards, otherwise you just forget what the hell you were doing.
So you can take them or leave them, basically. They're not important.
No, that's pretty much it. And I'll just show you the psychic ones. Yeah, I'll go in depth with these, but whoever did the artwork, I can see the style they were going for. It were kind of John Blanche style, but that can't have been who did the art for these, because that's, I mean, if you want to...
Oh, let's have a butcher's.
I mean, my God.
Look half finished.
Yeah.
This is my first thought when I look at these. I've never seen these before.
These are...
And this one in particular, that one.
Oh, that one.
Scribbly.
I'll just show that up to the camera.
Bit of a mess on the neck section there.
Yeah, one of the telekinesis powers. Is that going at the same place? Oh no, that's...
And that one looks like my 3-year-old's had a go at that one.
What's that one?
God, no, awful.
Oh, divination. I'll just show that up. Is this your card? If so, good luck to you.
Blimey.
What's this one? Quick reference sheet. I think that's probably the best one of the lot. I'm not sure, but there's 2 more disciplines for powers. There's 2 demonic ones, malefic and satanic. Grey Knights are really good with satanic ones, but they can't take malefic. And demons are good with malefic, but can't take satanic. And Tyrannids can't take either. In fact, I'm pretty sure they can't take any of the proper powers, apart from their own. They've also got the Force psychic power, which will be more explained later on.
Sorry, I do have to interrupt. That is by far the worst of all the pictures. That is just horrific.
Yeah, it's the same one as the cover, and what's that for?
Sanctus.
Oh, yeah, you wouldn't tell, really. I mean, the ones from before, you might have had a guess. You might have had a stab in the dark, and you might have been right.
Well, like the fantasy battle magic cards, it's clearly, you know, what college of magic it's supposed to denote. But, well, they just look like my kids have had a go to.
So, aesthetically, the new 40k stuff is, well, not say it on camera, but it's...
Rhymes with grit.
Total grit. It's really not good. Well, same as that. There should have been a lot more aesthetic done into this, way more. But that's all the major moaning from here. If you look online, most of the major moaning will not be for the price or the aesthetic. It'll be quite the reverse. It'll be for what's changed.
Well, there isn't an awful lot that has changed, not really.
No, the stuff that's changed small, but makes quite a bit of difference. I mean, they have cleared a lot of stuff up. Mostly it's a case of it does what it says. You don't go, will it do this, will it do that? There's going to be some instances, but nowhere near as many. Goes shoot movement phase first is as all the other editions. Yeah, Psychic Phase is a new one. It's kind of like Warhammer, where you roll a dice, and that's how many charges or deny the witch or dispel dice, the same thing, that your opponent's got. And then how many level psychers you've got, you add charge points. So if you've got 2 level 3s, you'll have 6 more. And why forces in the psychic cards is you'll have to do force in the psychic phase now. And for armies such as Grey Knights, that will make a huge difference if you don't remember.
Yeah, Grey Knights are awesome.
Yeah. How we believe it is, yeah, they've got rid of the powers. I think it's in the FAQ, and
it is. It's in the FAQ for Grey Knights. They've got rid of the squad powers. They've given, I think it's nearly all infantry now just have hammer hand, and the vehicles with the psychic pilots, they have sanctuary. And your HQ, I think they roll for them, determine them randomly depending on the mastery level, like your captains or grandmasters.
One other thing that's changed for this, if you take all your psychic powers from one discipline, then you get the primary one for free. Mostly a good thing, but if you roll or draw a power you don't want, then it's not really useful. Psychic shooting doesn't stop you from shooting other weapons normally, which again going to make a fair bit of difference for some. Deny the witches on any 6s. Yeah, what you do for psychic tests now, you get the number of warp charges or higher. If you need two warp charges, you get at least 2 dice, and you need 4s. And every 6 your opponent discards a warp charge. You're going to get a lot of psychic powers off. You can dispel any psychic power, but you'll get no bonuses for like your psychic level, adamantium will or whatnot if it's not targeted at you. Then goes on to shooting phase, which is a lot like 4th edition, where you choose a weapon, shoot, roll to wound, your opponent then takes saves, then you move on to the next weapon, which does it make it longer? Slightly, but it's a lot clearer. Rolling to wound. What else we got? Then it goes on to weapons, which is a bit pointless, I think, but I suppose it helps. Then it goes on to the assault phase. One of the big changes is when you charge through terrain, it's only -2 to your charge range, -2 inch, which might help things like Tyrannids, because things like Hormgaunts have got fleet, and things such as Orcs, where you have a big squad of boys, it will. You roll high enough dice. It used to be roll 3 dice and pick the 2 lowest, whereas if you get to say a 10, then -2, then there's a good chance you'll be in. Challenges have been made a lot like Fantasy, where wounds work towards your combat res, even though you only need maybe 1 to kill something.
So the excess wounds carry over?
Yeah. One rule that you didn't like, well, one rule that weren't in, that you kept saying that did want to be in, is in the shooting phase you can shoot a transport and you get to charge whoever's inside it.
Yeah.
I mean, you've been on about that since 5th edition.
Yes, I have actually, yeah, because it makes sense to me. If you're in the shooting phase, if you're shooting a transport vehicle, you wreck it, blow it up, you force the occupants to disembark, and then you're not allowed to charge them in the assault phase because they weren't the target of your shooting, even though they were occupying the thing that you were shooting at. I never saw why you couldn't assault them.
Well, now you can, which does make a big deal of sense. They've also put gargantuan and flying gargantuan creatures in. This doesn't mean you can use things like the Hydra rule in normal games, seeing as they're not in normal codexes. They've also got rules for destroyer weapons and what are they? Walkers. Oh, super heavy vehicles. Yeah, that right. That has been the big thing people have been moaning about, but I don't see why.
The inclusion of the super heavies.
Yeah.
Well, why not?
Yeah, exactly. I mean,